I've always been kind of interested in cars, playing with cars. When I was going to school, I had a 55 Chev that I kind of rebuilt.
I've been a car guy my entire life, right back from my dad got me hooked on the hobby.
That love, that passion to be around the old classic cars.
Our relationship with our automobiles is emotional.
They really show what society was like. They talk about our culture and our history, and I think that's why people like old cars. It brings back memories.
Since 1984, collectible car enthusiasts have been sharing their passion for the hobby through membership with the Collectors Car Club. Owners of all sorts of vehicles carry the hobby forward by showcasing their pride and joy for the people of Saskatchewan. This is the story of the Collectors Car Club, 40 years in the making. Welcome to Regina, Saskatchewan in the 1980s, where neon fashion rules, the Rough Riders are in a rebuilding phase, and the local economy thrives. On the road, vintage cars and sleek new models showcase the era's love affair with all things automotive.
The car club, of course, started out with the intentions and the interests of one individual.
My name is Jim Zinken. 40 years ago, I was interested in starting another car club because at that time, the only real car clubs in town were the Majestics, who were mainly a hot rod club, an antique auto, and you had to have a car that was 30 years old to be an antique auto. So I felt that there was a space for those of us who were collecting cars that didn't fit into the categories of those two clubs. I put an ad in the Leader Post about the idea of starting a car club, and our first meeting was at the Northwest Leisure Centre. And actually there's one person who was there at that first meeting who is still a member of the club, Gordon Stepanski.
My name is Gordon Stepanski. I'm one of the charter members of the Collectors Car Club. I've been in the car club since I think it was about September of 1984, so that's a long time back.
My name is David Babinski. I've been a member of the Collectors Car Club since it was established in 1984. One day I was out with my pride and joy vehicle. Mr. Jim Zinken approached me, invited me to a meeting. Next thing I knew, by the second meeting, I became social director. So things happened real quick in '84.
We decided that there's going to be no restrictions for this club, that we're not going to presuppose what is collectible and what isn't. So anybody, if they felt their car was collectible, was welcome to join. Or they could join without a collector vehicle. So we wanted it to be wide open to anybody.
No vehicle restrictions, family oriented. And that's what kind of makes us different from the other car clubs in Regina.
Though I put the ad in the paper, you can't be a car club with one person. So if other people hadn't come to that meeting, it wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Well, my name is Lyle Smallin. There was an ad in the Leader Post. Anybody interested in joining a car club? It didn't have to be any make of car, any model. Jim Zinken was hosting the meeting. The first meeting was held in Northwest Leisure Centre, and that's where the birth of Collectors Car Club happened.
One of the first things we did is we had a cruise around Regina, and it went from there.
The first year that we were together, we had about 25 charter members.
Well, this is the second generation of the club jackets. The first ones were a shiny silver, and we bought these, I'd say, probably about 87, 88. As you see, it's been well used. Every once in a while, I put it on and just sport who I am as a car collector.
I'm David Diddich. I'm a past president. I've been a car guy, I guess, since about 2016 is when I bought my first car, a 66 Plymouth Fury. If you want to go back further than that, I collected the little Tonka cars, and I had quite a collection, but they all had to be old cars.
My name's Craig Williams. I've been with the car club since spring of 2023. I have a 1968 Pontiac Parisienne 2+2 convertible that I picked up late in 2022 from a former car club member.
My name is Orville Mervang. I got a 69 Olds 442 Cutlass convertible. I had a fella after me to join the car club for years, and I finally joined in 04, 05.
I wanted to join a club and, have some camaraderie with some fellow car nuts.
My name's Don Young, and I've been a member of the car club for quite a while. There's a lot of like-minded individuals in there that seem to care for their cars. They know how to repair them. They know where to get the parts.
We always had kind of the motto, we take whatever you drive.
Ford cars, we got General Motor cars, we got Chrysler cars, we got some import cars.
My name's Ken Kulak. My pride and joy right now is a 67 Charger, original 440 automatic, quite a rare car. They didn't really do anything in particular, but you did a little bit of everything that was car related. And it was an opportunity to get together with some of the other guys that were in the car hobby, like not as building cars necessarily, but driving cars and enjoying the cars. And that's what I was interested in.
My name is Ryan Monks. I've been with the Collectors Car Club since early 2000s. Joined the club because of my dad, actually. He's been a member for a long time, and as I got older, I had my own interest and joined the club to get involved.
Have that opportunity to join the club even if you don't own a car, and we have had members in the recent past that are exactly that person that don't own a car. Particularly the one gentleman, his love was photographing, and he loved photographing old cars.
I'm Ross Parker, and I joined the club around 2000. I really enjoyed taking pictures at the car shows, and I put them online, which was a lot of fun back in the day.
I think with these different things and not having a specific make and model, not necessarily having a car, but an interest in keeping the hobby alive, having an interest in these older cars, I think we stand to be around for 40 more years.
I grew up in the car business. I was, 30 plus years in the car business. For over 20 years, I never owned a car. My neighbor had one for sale. I bought one, got one from him, and then as a result, I joined the collectors just to kind of get a little info as to, what can I do with it? Where do I go? How do I do it? And leaning to their knowledge. My name's Robert. I currently drive a 1947 Hudson. It's a Commodore Coupe. Kind of a tight community. We all, joined together to either put together a car show or to, during COVID, we all grouped together and did some drive-bys. Nothing better than having 100 cars go by your house, on your birthday or your anniversary.
My name is Jim Dean. I'm the current president of the Collectors Car Club of Saskatchewan. Longtime President Dave Dittich had stepped down. I said, okay, I guess it's my turn. And I think that's how the club works, is that we tend to take turns in leadership roles, helping drive the club forwards. All of us really like working on our cars. Sometimes that's a solitary labor of love. But kind of the payoff of doing that is the ability to show the car afterwards.
We do 2 major events a year. We have the May show. It's usually the last weekend of May. We've strived in recent years to get involved with Sask Polytech on a more intimate basis, and we use their parking lot now for our shows. It's worked out very well. They've got a large parking space. We've got the capacity to really grow the show.
It's really the first big outdoor car show in the city.
Weekend after May long weekend, get out there in nice weather and start enjoying the cars.
It's a good opportunity to take your car out and show it to people that wouldn't normally see it, and talk to other people that are in the same hobby.
There are so many different cars now that you see for the last 30, 40 years. People bring out literally everything from station wagons to four-door sedans, which are unique. And you still have the traditional Mustangs and Camaros and Trans Ams and Chevelles and stuff. We've had some good audience participation for the people to come out and take a look at the cars and everything.
My name is Dale Edward Johnson, automotive journalist. I've been interested in cars since literally before I started going to school. I've gone to a lot of events over the years. I remember one of the early ones. It was in May, and an extremely hot day. It had to be about 38 or 39, almost too hot for a car show. So I think that kept attendance down just a bit. Not a lot of spectators there, not a lot of cars on display, maybe a dozen or so. But it still showed the passion that people have to display their cars, and the passion spectators have to come and take a look at cars.
Second big event is the car cruise night.
As a car club, it's not only that you go and park summers in one spot. Cars are basically, bottom line, meant to be driven.
What we used to do is cruise up and down Albert Street.
In recent years, we've started cruising from Sask Polytech, and we cruise to Lumsden and back from Lumsden.
Over the years, we've gone out to other places for car shows, example to Indian Head and whatnot.
The cruise is an opportunity to get together with the other club members and people outside the club as well, and just go for a drive with people of like mind and buying cars. Something to do with your toys.
The cruise has always been fun for us. It's nice to not just show your car, but we get a little bit of a ride out, either out of town or we have done cruises around Wascana Center.
It's pretty neat to see these 100 and some cars on the road all at one time. I'm sure the traffic coming towards or against us is really wondering what's going on, and it's just neat to see all those classics out at one time.
It's just a fun opportunity to get out, show your cars off, and have a little fun with the car community.
Something that we've also done over the years is if we've had a member from out of town, we've always been sure to go out to their place once a year, get them to put together a car show in their local area. And the guys have just enjoyed taking their cars out to these areas.
I got involved with the club probably 13 or so years ago, just a little bit after the Labor Day Show and Shine started. And I had reached out to the club. I had gone to some of the shows, put my cars in some of the shows, and got to know the guys and said, is this something that they would be interested in doing?
When I was president of the car club, we were approached by Access Communications to partner with them for the Labor Day Show and Shine, to look after the car aspect of it, of the parking of the cars and stuff like that, because that's kind of what we did best.
Most of the guys are here helping out, parking cars, doing what they can do to help out and just keep the day organized.
What's your name, sir?
Ron Isaac.
Oh, Ron. So what's your job, Ron?
When vehicles come in, just to guide them down where they're supposed to park.
Ah, there we go.
Easy as pie.
I could see that the club had, that sense of a higher purpose, giving back to the community, and they stepped up and have done a fantastic job.
The Access Show, of course, is the largest car show in Regina per year. Big shows like the Access Show takes a huge amount of volunteers who are willing to put in the time to do it.
It's basically the finale for the season.
Well, the show, when it first started out, I think, we were able to fill up the field. We were pretty impressed with that, 300 and some cars in one day and everything like that. And now we've grown up to 550, 600 cars. All the money went to the food bank, so it was a good cause to be partnered up with.
I'm John Bailey. I'm the CEO of the Regina Food Bank, and I've been working with the Collectors Car Club on the Access Communication Show and Shine for the past 5 years now. Working with the Collectors Car Club has just been incredible. I mean, the organization, whether it's going out and making sure that the lines are painted or making sure that we have the sponsors we need or making sure that the cars show up on time where they're supposed to and get parked where they are. And you can tell both the passion for cars, but also for community in everything they do.
My name is Tracy Muka. I am the Senior Manager of Community Engagement. I've worked hand in hand with them for over a decade with being part of the Show and Shine Labor Day Committee. We have a strong partnership that we continue to grow.
I'm proud to announce that we have raised over $32,744 for the Regina Food Bank to fight food insecurity. That translates into over 1 million meals donated.
We definitely have some synergies with the Collectors Car Club. The commitment to community is what Access's core value is, and the Collectors Car Club, it's embedded in them as well.
It's just nice to be part of something that's also doing things for the community while you're getting to enjoy your hobby.
They've got many good charitable functions that they support.
We've been at this now for quite a few years. We used to give to various charities and this and that.
When I became the president for the first year, the club didn't seem to have much direction on where any excess funds that we had were being donated. And by 2018, we were introducing a scholarship, partnering along with Access Communications, who was putting together their own scholarships at the time.
Dave Didich and Jim Dean orchestrated this new project with the Polytechnique. And we give $1,000 scholarships to Polytechnique students. And it's been a very rewarding program.
That gets the younger people involved and wanting to promote the hobby and get involved in the hobby and actually learn how to work on some of these cars.
The scholarships for the students at SAS Polytech, both in mechanics and auto body, I think that's really a cool thing that differentiates us from other clubs.
To date, we're going to have raised over $16,000 to SAS Polytech students that may have not had a chance to go to school otherwise.
We want to see this hobby survive and thrive in the future. I think doing some of that stuff in the community will allow us to be a vehicle towards that.
My friend Brian Dusick and I were at the Labor Day Show and Shine. We parked our cars together. We both had Firebirds. And there was a guy came up, and young guy, and he had his probably his 2-year-old son on his shoulders, and he was looking at Brian's car, and tears started coming down his face. We asked him what was wrong, and he said, I used to have one of these cars, and of course family got in the way. Happens to a lot of us. But there's no doubt in my mind that at some point, and probably today, he's already acquired a car like that and back into the hobby because it was emotional for him.
I think the hobby, like our world in general, is changing immensely, and it's going to continue to change in ways that we really can't imagine now.
There's always going to be car guys. As long as there's cars on the road, there's always going to be people driving them, people collecting them, and people gathering, and people showing them off.
You see different cars coming in, like we're starting to see more people fixing up, square body Chevys and, 80s and 90s Camaros and Corvettes and stuff like that. But the 60s and 70s stuff, I think, will always remain timeless, kind of like the music. Music and cars are two things I think that evoke a lot of emotion and a lot of nostalgia in people.
The hobby is definitely changing, there's no question of that. Society is changing in general. When I was growing up, everybody played with a car because that was the way you got around. Now it's not so much anymore. The cars themselves have changed.
A lot of the newer stuff, it's easier to get parts, easier to work on. The younger generation's more after the horsepower or the looks, not necessarily the coolness or how old the car is or how original it is.
You got younger guys with younger cars and some of the hopped up smaller versions of what we're used to. I think it'll always be there. It'll just transition like everything else.
What the future brings is going to be a good question.
Collectors has been around for 40 years and it's still going.
We stand to be around for years to come.
All of the current success of the club is much bigger than I had even envisioned, and I'm really pleased to see that it has continued the way it has, and that there's been enough members in the club dedicated enough to put on these large events, because I really enjoy attending them, so they wouldn't be there if you didn't have the volunteers to put them on.
Congratulations to the Collectors Car Club of Saskatchewan, Inc., celebrating their 40th anniversary in 2024.
You've been around a long time, and Lord willing, I'll be around for another 40 years.
Congratulations to the Collector Car Club of Saskatchewan, 40 years.
40 years of a lot of different members that have gone through the system, and a lot of different cars, and good times, and personalities.
Congratulations to all of us and all of the guys that have made it happen over the last 40, and hats off to the next generation that are going to drag it forward for the next 40.
Congrats to Collectors Car Club for 40 years. I was there for the 25th anniversary, and that was quite an undertaking at that point. So 15 years later, it's still going strong, and I don't see it ending anytime soon.
I'm proud to be a member, and good on you for keeping this alive in the city of Regina.
40 years is a milestone, so congratulations to the Collectors Car Club on 40 years.
Congratulations on 40 years, and hopefully 40 years from now, the cars that are coming out will be the new classics that we're showing out. So great work on 40 years, and here's to 40 more.
Special thank you to the current members and their families, and also the former members and their families.
I wish the car club continuing success for another 40 years or better.
That's a significant accomplishment. I am confident that 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, the Collectors Car Club will be around and be doing the same kind of good work that it does today.
So what's your favorite out of your whole collection, Jim?
Oh boy, that would be tough. Because
give us the top three.
Probably my 1930 Packard would have to be in there.
Okay.
My 68 Triumph TR250 is because it's so much fun to drive.
Oh yeah, nice.
There's just so many, it would be really hard to pick. Really hard to pick.
Well, you gave us two, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, my first ride was in high school. Three of my buddies, we got together and we bought a 49 Merc. We tried to make it faster. I had my dad's half-inch drill, electric drill, and I'm laying under the car, drilling. And well, my dad came out and said, "What are you doing under there?" I said, "Well, I'm drilling the frame, make the car lighter." Dad said, "Give me the drill." Went to the trunk, opened the trunk up, there's a latch on it, took the spare tire, put it in the garage and said, there, it's 50 pounds lighter now. That kind of stuck with me. And listen to the older guys, they know what they're talking about.